happened? They woke up and everyone just decided to be soy as fuck.
Just let us log in and then pick our gear from our gear editor and then just edit our character to max level.
Like,
Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just literally stop. Bro, how is he consistently saying the worst ideas? Literally stop.
already got a template system in place for...
Dude, just play World of Warcraft. I'm sick of it, dude. Like, seriously, just play World of Warcraft. Let's see it. Let's see what it is.
Why, hello. How's it going? I know you haven't seen me in a while. I've been a bit MIA for the past couple of weeks. That's because if you hadn't heard, Blizzard launched a brand new game. Yeah, that's right. Since Diablo 4 release, I've just been living, breathing, eating, and sleeping this game. Okay, well, there really hasn't been so much sleeping because I ain't got time for that. Paragon board ain't gonna fill itself. Neither is my best in slot gear gonna grind itself. And don't even get me started on those altars of Lilith. Although, I'm just kidding. I haven't even tried on those. I'm not gonna run around clicking on all the little stupid altars. There's over 160 of them or something, and getting to all of them would require me riding on my horse for a real long time, and since riding on the horse feels like crap, I don't want to do that either. No, I'm much more interested in running champions match for the 1,000th time. I got to about 500 before I checked out. It's just boring as hell, dude. I don't know how people do it. Collecting years in PvP has been a lot of fun. Also, fun fact, I've never died. And also killing world bosses on the max difficulty tier in under 30 seconds, because that makes a whole lot of sense. They did buff them back up, though. Now it takes somewhere around 60 to 90 seconds instead of 30.
I don't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know, bro. I don't know about that, brother. I don't know about that one, brother. I don't know about that one, brother. It's kind of just not very accurate information. Yeah, you can still kill him in 3 seconds.
And then also, I got myself all the way to about level 80 on my sorceress in just a couple of days of hardcore grinding before deciding to re-roll as a druid, because yes, I am in fact certifiably crazy. Anyway, today I'm here because I want to share some updated opinions, suggestions, and thoughts on the game. There's a lot of new and updated critiques here, basically, after spending the past week and a half playing. And although this video is going to be focused on critiques and things that I would like to see improved upon, don't get it twisted. Overall, I love Diablo 4, like hands down. This is my favorite game so far of the year. I've just been having an absolute blast, and I definitely foresee myself playing now straight through to Season 1. Although, admittedly, I will be playing at a slower clip because so far, yes, I have gone a wee bit overboard. I think the game's great. I've been having an absolute blast. I already totally think it's worth the cost of admission. But there are some things, for sure, that I would like to see improved, changed, added upon, and or addressed in the current state of the game that I think would overall make for a much better gameplay experience. So let's talk about some of the things Diablo 4 needs to consider addressing from the perspective of an armchair YouTube developer.
Okay.
It's worth a lot, right? I know. Okay, so first off, speaking of that first season, maybe reconsider the Renown farm resetting. I gotta tell you, as much as I love this...
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
No, it's good. I want to skip me now. We're not bad. Skip the campaign. We skip farming. Let us skip exploring the map. Let us skip unlocking all the aspects. Let us literally just skip the entire game. Just let us log in and then pick our gear from a fucking gear editor and then just edit our character to max level. So I can just be finished. It's like, shut the fuck up. Oh, shut the
scale
fuck up.
Of the world. There's just a lot here to do and see. Absolutely massive play space. And as I'm going through for the very first time, discovering everything, unlocking everything, running dungeons for the first time, doing the side quest, engaging in the world. But the idea of starting it all from scratch and specifically having to refarm all of the Renown every season, it just sounds like way too much of a hassle. Like, as much as I'm enjoying it the first time through, I can't envision a full reset that my motivation to do that all from 0 to 100 again is going to...
Do you think this is like they're just doing the season too early? For all the soy boys can't handle it. The soy boys can't handle it because the season's so early. It almost does feel like they should just delay the season. Like, straight up, yo, we should contact Blizzard and be like, yo, delay the season. Like, just delay it, pussies. Give people a little bit longer, just delay it, you know what I'm saying? Delay the season. That'd be so good as well, they did, bro. I would fucking love that if they delayed the season. Yo, that'd be so good for XLCon and everything. Holy, delay the fucking season. Bro, these little soy boys will stop crying by then, and they'll be like, hell yeah, I'm ready for that grind now, brother. You know, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Right now, they're just like, you know, They can't handle it. They can't handle it, brother.
To be there. Frankly, it really almost makes me wish they hadn't gone with the full game reset of the seasonal structure while also having this massive open world and all this stuff in it. These things just feel a bit at odds with me, and I almost wish that maybe they tried something different where they tried to incorporate this idea of seasons by adding new content that freshens up the game, but also letting us keep a lot of the base version of the game cleared with the map uncovered and the renown that we have farmed, but maybe having seasonal elements in parts of the world or for specific types of content within the world.
Why is everyone doing this? What the fuck's going on? What the fuck is going? What happened? They woke up and everyone just decided to be soy as fuck. Like, I don't understand what happened. Like, what the fuck, dude? Why is this guy immune to damage? What the fuck? What the fuck's going on? They woke up. They just woke up on the soy side of bed, dude. It's crazy. Okay, what the fuck's up with these monsters? They're actually all bugged.
World, but not the entire overland map, you know what I'm saying? And I know ARPGs, they've always been about this. It's actually what's kept me coming back to Diablo 3 over the years, is because yes, it's fun to jump in to check out a new season, but that's fun for a few days to a week. It just makes me wish this is probably also...
It's because everyone fucking cried so much, and they keep fucking patching the game to make you gear up faster to the point where they literally gave people full sets, and instead of like being able to enjoy a season for like a month or 2 weeks, it was like, you were literally done the majority of progression the first 3 days of the season, bro. Like, that's because people like you were fucking crying like little babies about how it was too hard to get shit, and then guess what? They're like, now they're crying there's not enough stuff to do. Like, it's so fucking, dude, for real. I watch everyone cry and I get them to like completely renew for now, and then be like, man,
the season so I can reach level 1.
No. Well, that's what happens. Everyone's gonna cry like a little bitch. They're gonna fucking fold, and they're gonna be like, all right, we're just gonna remove all the shit, and everyone just gets full renown, everyone just gets full progression, and then people are gonna play it and be like, man, there's like nothing to do. I've been playing this game for like 2 days, and I've got nothing to do now. I've got no goals, nothing to grind out, man. Yeah, it's like, well, what the fuck did you complain and say I want to skip it for then? Ah! They better not. This better not work.
So it goes back to something that I've talked about in prior videos, where it seems like Diablo 4 in a lot of ways played it safe and doesn't quite have as much innovation as I wish they had pushed for. And I think this is probably one of those things where we could envision you've got this huge play space, massive open worlds, and yes, you still do seasons. Yes, you give us a reason to come back for fresh new things. You give us a reason to make new characters, but maybe that could be within portions of the game instead of the entire game space and clearing it all. I like this world. I like that I've cleared it, and I would like to have freshened content in seasons that didn't completely Thanos snap the whole map progress, especially the Renown farm, because it's really a slog. It feels like quite a bit of a slog. Next up, I do want to talk about how map progress resets within a season or within the current launch version of the game. But first, let us progress to a word from today's sponsor. If you're looking to get
this is some shit that everyone does. They do this shit where it's like, they do some shit like that, bro. They do some fucking shit. Like, for real. Where they just say renown bad. And everyone's like, true. Campaign bad. True. Fucking insert anything that makes the game harder bad. True. It's literally this brain dead. They will always the gamers like your response. The gamer response is like path of least resistance always equals better when it's not. It's not. It's literally not. Because it is bad. No, it's not bad. Okay, I gotta skip this fucking part of the thing without dying, boys.
Most out of your for match a talk character. It feels like they should maybe have it so that your map progress would be shared across characters within the Eternal Realm, and then I would hope this would also apply to the seasons. Because right now, the way that it works is that any renown thresholds that you break within those 5-tier rewards, those will be reset if you make a new character. So in my particular instance, I played a lot I got my sorcerer up to 80, and then I decided I want to try a new character. I'd like to level up a druid, so I make a druid, and everything is reset. Now, it put me in the strange position where, while playing on my sorceress, I had like roughly half or 3/4 of the Renown completion finished for every single one of the 5 zones. But since I didn't want to play my Sork any longer, in order to unlock the full Renown rewards to get all the way up to those Paragon points at the end in that 5th tier, I basically had to start from scratch in every single portion of the game. It basically had me struggling with it, where like, should I just play my sorceress even though I no longer want to, just to complete all of this Renown grind? Or can I keep playing my new character, the one that I'm interested and motivated to play right now, keep playing my druid, but start from scratch in every single zone? Maybe there's a better balance that they can strike. Maybe at the very least, if they shared all of the waypoint unlocks for all of the town.
To be honest, I think that the map should not be like permanent and unlocked. I think it should be season unlock, and it should be shared across your entire account. And I feel like almost, you should. Renown should be. I would be totally fine with Renown being also account wide on a seasonal basis, right? I also think that could work. Like, so account wide, seasonal basis. So like, if you switch characters mid go, you don't lose it all. Or if you die mid go, you don't lose it all. I would be okay with that. I think that's fine, because otherwise this is just a disincentive. Say you started the character, you don't like it, and then you lose all that fucking prog and you have to start it again. That is kind of cringe. Like, imagine like progging through the complete majority of stuff and then dying, and then you have to do the entire Renown again after you've just spent like 2 days doing it. That'd be terrible, which is why I think I'm okay with I think it's fine. Like, I think that is fine. Account wide Renown. Right, account wide. Now it's a little more complicated than that, because it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, oh, just make it account wide, because what if you did like do the same side quest? What if it's like efficient to like make multiple characters and do the same like 10 quests on like 5 different guys? That have to be a little bit of a rework to it, but I think that would still be worth the time of development, right? To not have all these soy boys crying like beta bitches. You feel me? You picking up what I'm putting down?
Right now, you get all of the major towns when you make a new character, but everything else is completely reset. I think if at the very least they gave me every single waypoint, and that would make going through that process again a little bit easier than it is with a full-on reset whenever you make a brand new character. And it kind of goes back to the first point, where I love that this game is so huge. I love that it's massive. I love that there's so much play space and there's so much to explore and to see. But the flip side of that token is that it feels like quite a bit of a slog when you start to consider other characters. I also think they should look at rebalancing experience rewards. So up until this point, one of the fastest ways to level, to get experience, to grind up towards that max level of 100 has just been through farming dungeons and resetting them in a group, doing things like split farming. That has been hands down by a large margin the fastest experience per hour, the best way to level up. We saw this initially with people running through Champion's Demise, and then recently it was Ruins of Eridu, both of which have now completely been nerfed into the ground, with Blizzard cutting back on the number of elite packs, because elite packs are basically the best way to get the most XP. They've got a large portion. I think it's like 7 times more experience you get from elite packs than you do from normal mobs, so people just want to farm elite packs. And usually in any game like this, the best way to do it is to find the most like predictable and highest density amount of experience that you can farm within a set window to get the fastest amount of experience per hour. And the more reliable and more consistent you can make that, the more likely that is to be considered the best method in a particular game. Now, there's always going to be a best method. It doesn't matter how much you try to balance it across all these different content types. There will always be some most efficient way. Maybe though they can do things to try to even it out a little bit. I think one possible solution would just be nerfing continuous runs of the same content, and this would make it so that if people try to run the same instance over and over and over again, it would maybe give successively less experience on successive runs. That might feel a bit too restrictive to players, so maybe another option is just buffing things, other content in the game, like for example,
do not listen to this guy. Do not listen to anything he's saying right now. Okay, holy shit. Okay, yeah, I agree. Keeping things, you shouldn't giga nerf the fuck out of something just because people are doing it, unless it's like something that's clearly complete dogshit gameplay, right? For example, literally spamming the same dungeon over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But like, It's like you don't want to do this bullshit where people have found a cool way to play the game, and that's actually a cool, enjoyable way to play the game, and they're like, no, you're not playing the game how we want you to. Nerfed. That's bad, right? But certainly, you know, they should nerf the degenerate strats. The strats which are like just unfun just objectively unfun, right? Where it's like you're just repeating the same like 3 things over and over and over again, whatever. That's giga cringe. The strat is to just try to get it all relatively close. And the thing with the best gameplay outcomes, probably slightly better, right? Make that one slightly better. But then if people want to do another way of leveling, they can, right? There's many, you know, optional ways to play the game, right? Which is the best way of doing it. I hate it when Blizzard, because they do it in World of Warcraft, players find really cool, interesting ways of like leveling up and doing different things. And then they're like, no, you're not playing the game how we want you to. And then they nerf the fuck out of it. And it's like, well, that's just shit. You know? Just make Whispers contribute to Renown. That could work. That could be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Whispers need a buff. Like, for real.
100
Wait,
before.
I feel like Nightmare Dungeons should probably reward
Whispers
more
need a buff.
experience. It's already a progression path that we want to do for leveling up our glyphs, so why not make it also good for farming experience, and that could be sort of a kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's not like there isn't enough to grind in this game as is. You can remove some grinding by consolidating the character level grinding and the glyph upgrade grinding. That would be great. And then the overworld, like...
Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just literally stop. Stop saying delete. They're like, the people are complaining to remove all the various different things to do in the game, the various objectives. Are the people who are going to complain that there's nothing to do, like, after they actually listen to them, because, like, they're fucking retarded and they will listen to them, okay? Like, no, seriously, just don't. Just don't. That's, what a terrible idea. What a terrible idea.
I love this. It's a great space, but it feels like the worst place to go if you're trying to level up. So maybe some bonuses to experience while in the overworld. Maybe, hey, you know, they've done this before. Kill chain bonuses. So if you're in the overworld...
Dude. Fuck kill chain bonuses. Fuck kill chain bonuses. That is awful. I hate kill chain. Fuck kill chain. Bro, how is he consistently saying the worst ideas? I don't even know. Dude, literally stop. Literally stop. Remove all in-game content and add in kill chain bonuses. That's what he wants to do. Oh my god.
Then you're just chaining from group to group, but that only applies to the overworld, because then dungeons would again be clearly the best place to be. Give some more incentive for us to be in the overworld. I know they have the bounty system, the Tree of Whisper system, but that doesn't feel like quite enough. It feels like far behind the dungeon grinding. They nerfed Champion's Demise, they've nerfed Eridu. We're just gonna find the next most efficient dungeon to farm unless they change something up in addition to what they've done here, in addition to nerfing the elite packs in dungeons.
They're buffing Nightmare Donors. Buffing Nightmare Donors. Yeah, that's what they're doing. To be fair, this video's probably... When did the develop update happen? Do you guys remember? I don't remember. How many days ago was that? This is before or after? How many days ago was that? 3. Okay, yeah, he didn't know about that yet, so that's why he's saying this terrible take. Okay, good.
Gotta do something else that makes it so that there will be a more of an even playing field when it comes to that best XP farm for the people looking to do that. Now, this next thing hasn't affected me personally because I haven't played a hardcore character, but watching people lose their characters to the fact that this game is a live service game, always online, oh, it's absolutely heartbreaking to see, like, people dying and losing their hardcore characters.
Wait, did Steel Mage die to a bug? Wait, what happened to Steel Mage?
Characters to disconnects, bugs, and glitches, or what's worse, the fact that Blizzard restarting servers to update the cash shop ended up killing people's hardcore characters. All of this just means, hey, there should really be some sort of like
No! Wait, no fucking way that happened! Wait, they restarted some services to fucking update the cat shop and they killed people? Holy shit, that's so fucked. Oh my god. If they die, they die. We're gonna make our money, boys. It is what it is.
Game petition for people to get their hardcore characters revived if they died for any reason beyond just playing the game. This might just be one of the things like, hey, you sign up for this because this is an always online game. If there are server issues, if you run into bugs and glitches and your character dies, you're
Would you guys do that? Would you guys do that? If you like had like a shadow play of clearly dying to a bug, there'd be like a fucking council that would vote to raise your character? Nah, that sounds like a complete fucking shit show. That sounds like a clown fucking fiesta. I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like a clown fucking fiesta. Then again, my character did die to an obvious bug. But still, that sounds like a clown fiesta, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, that's definitely a bug, that's a bug, oh, what the fuck? People would build up so much resentment. That would cause so much hate and anger and outrage. And, like, people getting denied and shit when they feel like it was a bug, even though it wasn't a bug. Oh my god, can you imagine? Oof.
Well, but you know, I've seen like, you know, people have level 100 characters that die to bugs and glitches or server outages, and it just feels really crappy. It doesn't affect me personally, but I've got empathy for the people who it does affect, and maybe if this isn't something that Blizzard isn't already considering, they should consider. You got a live service, always online game. If people's characters die, not because they played poorly or misread an encounter, but because you updated the cash shop, maybe we should revive all of those characters. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah, do you know what? I wouldn't disagree with that. I think if they could see a clear, like, at this exact moment, you have, like, you know, in this window, literally, they had, like, 1,000 people die to a cash shop update. I would not be opposed to them doing a mass revive on those specific deaths. Right? Now, that I wouldn't be opposed to that. That sound honestly, because that is fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, that is fucking. If there was a way of just like getting a field and just dragging between, like, you know, everyone who died on this 15-second window just gets revived, then I think I'm okay with it. Honestly, you know, I think I'm okay with that.
The mount in this game feels really awkward between constantly getting hung up on things, various low-lying objects in the environment. Your mount all of a sudden will just stop if you slightly clip the side of a pathway that you're riding on, or the fact that they've got this, I don't know why, but if you don't know, the further away your mouse is from your mount, the faster your mount moves. Like, I kind of understand how that might translate to, like, you know, if you're playing on a gamepad and the further you push the joystick, the faster it goes. That makes sense. But with the mouse and keyboard, what? I don't like it, and I really they should get rid of it because it just makes it feel clunky.
It should be an option for role players to turn it off, right? But it should be by default. It should be at max acceleration for all the gamers. For fucking role players who want to role play, there should be an option in the setting which disables it and goes back to the fucking mouse drag thing. Right, a little toggle. That'd be fine. That'd be fine. Problem solved. Right, problem solved. Then again, I want anyone fucking developing that button. If I lose one feature because of that, I'm gonna be pissed. Right?
Funky. And before you realize that this is a thing, you just don't understand why the heck your mount is sometimes, when you hit the gallop button, going like a mile an hour and sometimes going at breakneck speed. And I didn't realize that for the longest time. And then I read it and I was like, what? This is a thing? Oh, it sucks. It's stupid. Get rid of that. I don't want my mount to go fast or slower depending on my mouse positioning to the mount. Just make my mount go max speed, and then when it gallops, make it go faster.
We're the first good take of the video,
if I want an RP, give me an RP walk button or something. I don't need my mount to go slow at any point. The point of the mount is speed.
Yo, Fake John says your mullet looks really clean. Yo, Fake John. Hey, what up? What up? What up? What up?
Speed increase, max speed of the make the mount go max speed, please. I've also seen people complaining about the fact that the mount has a cooldown. I think as part of just like a game mechanics thing, it's okay that there's a cooldown when you dismount if you want there to be some time in between dismounting and mounting. I think particular though, the long cooldown when you get dismounted by enemy mobs, it's, I don't know, like 20 to 30 seconds. It feels super long. Get rid of that. It's already long enough just if you dismount on purpose. Now here's some quality of life things that I would really love to see, and I think would be great additions to the game. Give us build templates and or loadouts. You know, they've already got a template system in place.
Dude, fucking just play World of Warcraft. Bro, play World of Warcraft. Dude, just play World of Warcraft. I'm sick of it, dude. Like, seriously, just play World of Warcraft. Bro, just log into World of Warcraft. There's supposed to be character identity and a sense of permanence you build. The whole point is that, like, you're supposed to, like, if you know, it's not supposed to be respec at a whim. I'm gonna switch spells for this, switch spells for that. Let me do. That's not what it's supposed to be. Okay, brother. Just log in. If you want to do that, log into World of Warcraft.
For cosmetics in the game, you can have all of these different cosmetic presets. Give me that for our skill tree, for our build, and for our Paragon board.
Why doesn't he understand the
super helpful.
implications
So
behind
for
what he's
one,
saying?
this could be if you want to play different types of specializations. So for example, on my Sorceress, I was playing Arc Lash, but maybe I wanted to try the Ice Shard build, or the Fire Warp build, or maybe I want to try a Conjuration build. But then also, even if you want to play the same spec but have different variations, you know? So you'll have a variation of a build
supposed to
if you're
be
doing...
opportunity cost, bro. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be at risk when you respec, and you're supposed to have the materials ready, the stuff ready, and it's supposed to require time and effort. You're not supposed to be able to respec on a whim. That's the whole point. The whole point is there's a sense of permanence to your character identity. Everyone can't just be everything, dude. You have to fucking build a character out. That's the whole point. I thought, why do people think about what they're saying before they say it? Like, oh, wouldn't it just be awesome if we could just do everything? But why don't they just give us infinite, you know, while they're at it, why don't they just give us infinite gold so we can just reroll gear infinitely? Why don't they just give us infinite materials so we can just have materials for everything? They should just give us 999 of every potion. And fucking, I mean, for real, right? Like, why don't they, man? Like, what's going on?
Speed clearing, and you just want to be fast and quickly taking out things, AoE groups. You might have a single target spec. You might have a tanky spec for pushing nightmare dungeons. You might have a PvP spec. It would be great if we just had templates in the game instead of having to manually change the...
Maybe make a PvP character. That's your PvP character. Maybe make your GR push character. Maybe if you consider doing that. If you consider that, you could make a bossing character. Have you considered that, buddy? Have you considered?
Whenever we go through different content. Now, the early pre-launch concerns of respecing being prohibitively expensive, that hasn't come to bear. I haven't felt...
I think it's failed in game design. I think it's a failure in game design. I think it should have been far more expensive, honestly. I think the respec is like, there's almost... The only cost I feel like associated with respec is the overriding of aspects on GG pieces of gear. That's it. That's it. The respec is effectively fucking free, which is bad game design. It's bad game design. The only cost to rerolling is not gold. You can literally do like 3 dungeons and you respec your entire Paragon board and your entire character. Literally. On level 100 Paragon, dude, on my level 90, I did like a full Paragon. I did at level 91 or 92. I did a full Paragon reset. And shit cost me like 1 mil. It was not you literally just do 2 dungeons and you've got enough to do it. It's a non-cost. The cost doesn't exist. It literally yeah. It costs nothing. So I mean, I'm talking all Paragon boards and an entire tree. I'm gonna ban this guy. You're born. Okay, good. Oh, chat. Thanks, chat. It's one of those things where you think you want infinite respecs, but you don't. That is what it is, chat. I mean, ultimately, no one wants it. No one knows what they want. No one wants it. They think you think you want infinite gold in games, but you don't, chat. Like, you think you want it. You're like, man, wouldn't PoE be so fun if I had infinite resources? You don't. It'd be bitch as fuck. It'd be boring as fuck. You'd almost immediately stabilize. You'd immediately get used to the fact of having like infinite gold, and then you become boring, and there'll be no challenge, and you just quit the fucking game. Like the whole point is the game is supposed to present a challenge, and you're supposed to overcome that challenge. The whole point is it's not supposed to be easy to do these things, and you just have to strategize and come up with plans. Maybe make another character. Okay, this whole thing where like just let us do infinite everything. It's just bad. It's just bad. You've got to have constraints. Like, without constraints, games are fucking dog shit. You're just playing some weird, like, character editor bullshit. You're playing, like, Harvest League in Path of Exile.
Felt any issues if I wanted to change a few specs here and there, but they can totally still have the gold cost associated with respecking and have build templates and loadouts in the game, and just make it so that every time you swap loadouts, you take away some of our gold because you want that to be part of the gold sync. Although, let's be honest, with the gear system and gear upgrade and extracting and all...
He's fundamentally misunderstanding what's going on right now, but I mean, okay, all right.
All that stuff, there's some pretty big gold sinks in the game, in particular when you want to re-roll attributes. I mean, it's going up up to the millions, many millions of gold just to try to get a new attribute roll. Like, you got.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I wouldn't disagree with this. I wouldn't disagree with this. Okay, I wouldn't disagree with a ghost path of paragons, where you can pre-plan a paragon tree, and you can save that as a template. Right, where you sit down and work out exactly where you're gonna go, and then you could save that template, not as like a guaranteed instant respec thing, but as like a you could have like a little template, and then you could upload that template to the boys, right, or something. You know, you get what I'm saying? I think it's like a little, but not like an instant spec switch respec fucking thing. Just a way to plan out your paragon pathing, right? But even then, I just think it's not required, and there's so many other things I could develop that would be like a better worth of time in terms of like, you know, priority. I just don't think that's a priority at all. I don't think it's. I think what's happening is being discussed right now. Not only do I think what he's saying is a bad idea, I think it's detrimental and bad for the game overall. I think it's like you would spend time developing something which would make the game objectively worse and less replayable and less fun.
Goldsing says is I don't really.
Like, imagine if you played PoE and you just had infinity regret orbs. You just get infinity regret orbs. Imagine playing PoE, but with infinity regret orbs. No cost associated with making you just never make a new character. You just like, all right, let me just regret everything, regret ascendancy, regret everything. Fuck, what reason would you have to make a new character at that point? You're just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna like infinity, and then on top of that, you have infinity regret orbs. Now there's also a thing where it can just have a completely different loadout for an entirely different skill tree, and then it also has like a loadout for your gear. And you just press a button, and you literally character. You just make one character, and you can switch between everything. Stop bugging! That would be fucking dog shit! Fucking trash! Be trash, not pog! You think it's pog because you're not thinking about it! Think about the fucking implications! Oh my, I can't!
No, that skill, the skill system, the builds, has to be a major part of that. It can still be a part of it, but it doesn't have to be a major part of it. Because you're taking our gold, you're taking my gold, Blizzard. Okay, trust me, my gold is disappearing very quickly all the time. Why, oh why, is there a cap of 20 side quests? There's too many side quests already. There's a lot of them all over the place. Just let me have all the side quests. Why is there a cap? It's totally unnecessary. It's not like the game is constantly showing me the side quest. I have to click on it for it to be highlighted anyways. So just get rid of the limitation. It's really, really frustrating on it.
Do you know what? I don't think that would offend me if they increased the cap of the side quests. I don't think that would be. That's, you know what? Not really. I didn't think of really as a problem. At one point, I had to abandon some quests. But yeah, do you know what? I don't mind that. If they did that, I would be okay with that. I don't see like why they couldn't.
Honestly, especially as we're going through. I'm trying to do Renown in a natural manner as I'm doing things, as I'm doing Hell Tides, as I'm doing tree bounties. I'll do some side quests in the process, and I'm just trying to do my Renown that way instead of hardcore farming it, and running around for Altars of Lilith, or running around the side quest, or running around each dungeon. I just want to naturally come across this Renown unlock, and it's so much more annoying with these limitation of the side quests because I'll be in a zone and
oh look, Quin's doing Lightning Buddy on hardcore game. What could go wrong? Wait, Lightning Buddy. Oh, I thought you talking about my build. I was about to ban you. Okay, good. All right, good.
And just doing the natural unlocking, and then if I go to another zone for tree quest over there, I don't have any of the side quests, and I can't pick them up because my quest log is full. So I gotta abandon all those quests and then pick up these ones and do that. And then if I move to another zone because of the new Tree of Whispers locations, I'll do it again. It's just get rid of the limitation. It seems totally unnecessary. Currently, the game has a Mark II junk option where basically you can mark a bunch of things that you want to sell as junk in one bulk thing. I think it'd make way more sense if there was a Mark to Keep option, because most of the time, a majority of what you have in your inventory is junk, and you're either going to want to bulk sell it or bulk salvage it. So let us mark the 1 or 2 items that we want to keep, and then bulk get rid of the rest. I would love to see a death recap. You know, sometimes I'll die in this situation. I'll be like, how did I die? Why did I die? What happened? What hit me?
Okay.
How much damage did it do? Were there resistances and debuffs considered? Any sort of detailed recap.
I'll be okay with a death recap.
Addition to the game.
I'm down for a death recap.
We talked about this pre-release as well. I would also love to see an end of event recap for things like world boss fights or dungeon bosses or nightmare dungeons. Give me a little recap of highlights of information of what happened, how we did, how much damage we did. Just interesting stats you could throw in here, which I think would be great. This next one is a recurring request, and that is for a larger field of view. For the love of God, anytime I get on my mount, anytime I go to the Tree of Whispers, and at various other locations in the game when...
You know why he's saying that, right? is I can tell you why. I can tell you why right now. I can tell you right now. It's not because he's soy. Okay? It's because you get used to the field of view with your mount, and then when you hop off your mount, it feels weird. And I noticed this especially when I did my leather altars. I spent 90% of the time on my mount, and after I got off my mount, after spending all my time on my mount, just going around doing the leather things, it felt zoomed in. It felt zoomed in. And it's simply because of the mount zoom out. The mount zoom out makes you feel zoomed in when you zoom back in after being zoomed out, right? And I don't know, do they just, instead of zooming out, do they just disable the mount zoom out? I don't know, because I feel it does. It feels claustrophobic. After you've been on your mount for a while, when you hop off your mount, it feels claustrophobic. It feels weird. Like you're like, what the fuck? Why is this? Then you get used. Then you reacclimatize and you're immediately used to it, and it's fine. But you know, the field of view is awful. It's not. It's fine. What do you mean? I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's like. I mean, don't get me wrong, if it went in slightly, I'd be fine. If it went out slightly, I'd be fine as well. But I think it's that thing. It's the difference. You notice it the second you've been on your map for a while, right? The thing is, the second you add in the ability to zoom out, well, if you zoom out, you gain more information, which then gives you an advantage. So then you have to do it, right? It's one of these things where, and I feel like it breaks your immersion because your character's this tiny little. You know, on the screen, it's shit, right? It's bad. Like it's not a good thing. I don't think it's you know. I just think they should probably disable the mount zoom out on a mount, and then you'd be better off. So he mentioned dying earlier, but he said he hadn't died yet. Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting when he said that. I thought the exact same thing, by the way.
When
Yeah.
that camera zooms back just a wee bit, I'm like, this is where my camera should be the whole time. Could you just please consider it? Give us the option. You don't have, if you want to keep it up close for the immersion, if you want to keep it up close for the sake of people playing on console because they're further away from their screens, I get that as well. There's a whole lot of reasons why Blizzard wants the camera where they have it. But I'm telling you, I'm sitting here, got an ultra wide monitor, I'm an arm's length or so away from it. I want that camera back just a little bit. I don't. It doesn't need to be massive, right? I don't need my character to be like a.
Everyone has to do it when they do that, though.
Somewhere between 10 to 20% more pulled back, I think would be great. And then finally, last big thing is just so much quality of life when it comes to storage and the stash. For one, we absolutely need a larger shared stash. Trying to store alternate gear for different builds, for variations on my build, like I talked about earlier, for like speed clearing or for single targets or for PvP, and then having to save the aspects because there's all these different roles and the various builds will have specific aspects that they want, and only half of the aspects are in the Codex of Power. So I need to hold on to my aspects, but they take up a lot of space. And then that doesn't even consider if you have more than one character. As it was just on my sorceress, my stash was basically full. Then I made the druid and I was like, my stash is full and at least half of it is for my sorcerer. So what ended up happening as I continued to play the druid and was like, hey, you know what? I love this. I'm having a great time. I think this is going to be my new main character. I got all the sorcerer stuff taking up space. I need storage for my druid. I just had to delete all my sorcerer stuff, and that's gonna suck when I go back to playing the sorcerer. So we need more.
You can make an alt and stick it on alts, but it's scuffed and dog shit because you can't put the aspects in the bag, and you can only put items in the bag, and then you got like this fucking keystone thing. It's like, I don't know, dude. I just don't understand how they could possibly playtest that and think that's okay, because it just does not seem okay. It seems it's just like it's not even half of what is required, right? Like, not only do they need more bank space, but I feel like we need it's more than double the amount we currently have. Like, they could double it right now and we would still need more. It would be like actually, like they could double that shit for real. I think I would be okay with the current bank size if, okay, hear me out, if aspects were not stored in your bank but stored in at the enchanter, and you could just scroll down through your list of aspects, right? You could just like click on the one and you could see all your different tiers of the same type, right? So all your aspects are stored in this infinity bank where you can store infinity aspects in the enchanter. Boom, right? You have the okay. And then on top of that, and then they have a separate thing that says not consumables, but it says sigils, and then we get like a little map tab here, right? And then that just can store infinity sigils, which are sorted by tier, right? I feel like that would be, You know, or maybe not infinity. It could be finite. It could be, there could be limits on it. You know, whatever. It could be like, maybe you can only have like, I don't know, 10 of each tier, right? So you can only have 10 of each, or whatever the fuck. You get that. You get the idea, right? And at that point, do you know what? Then the shitty tiny bank kind of makes sense. You know, you get a 1 tab per character, and then you don't need any of your aspects stored there. You don't need any essentials stored there. And then with the gem changes they're doing, I feel like maybe we could get away with that current bank. But I mean, yeah, we're talking. That's quite a lot of changes.
For shared space in general, I think there's some also more fine-tuning they could do. I think separate gem storage would be great as well. I actually flip-flopped on this. So early on, I was like, oh my god, there's so many gems, they take up so much space. I hate this. You know, we should get like a gem pouch or an extra gem storage tab. But then, as I kept on playing and I was in the end game, I realized, well, you only need like a handful of gems for your build, because once you know the gems that you need, you don't need to hold on to all the other ones and all the other variations, right? And then I was like, okay, maybe this gem thing isn't such a big deal. But then the leaks came out that there are going to be higher tier gems, with people reporting that we might need hundreds or thousands of gems to feed into to make those higher tier gems. And now I've gone back again to thinking, yes, we should be holding on to every single gem that we find, because we're going to need it for a future update. And with that, we need to...
That'll be a fucking season, and you won't fucking care, brother. What the fuck? It'll be a fucking season, and you won't give a fucking care, brother.
Some gem storage, please. That would be great. Also, along those same lines, aspects, okay? So we extract aspects, and they take up just as much room as the item that we were holding on to. So in a lot of ways, it doesn't really make sense to even extract an aspect until you are about to use it, because it takes up just as much space. So just hold it up in your inventory. But as mentioned earlier, we don't actually have quite enough inventory or shared stash space. We could use more of that. So I think one solution would be just take aspects and make it as part of the occultist UI.
Yeah,
like make
true.
it part of that menu when you interact with the occultist. Whenever you extract something, it just like goes into this hopper of things that you can use, rather than having it be an item that takes up.
Should basically be like an Einhar craft or like a harvest craft, right? It'd be like an Einhar craft or a harvest craft, effectively. Yeah, good take.
And more space, another thing to fill our inventory. If not, hey, why not just increase the aspect inventory tab? Both the equipment and the consumables have 3 rows, but for some reason, aspects only has 2 rows. What?
Some
why?
bullshit. What a dog shit is,
Give
bro.
us a 3rd row at least if you're not going to migrate it into the occultist UI. And then there's also the fact that like every single aspect of a type, be it like offensive or resource or mobility or utility, they all look the same. So when I break down a bunch of different offensive aspects, the icon is the exact same. I can't at a glance figure out what each one is, so I've got to mouse over each one of them individually. I had a whole stash in my shared stash filled up with all of these different offensive and other aspects.
Who the fuck played this fucking game? Who tested... Oh shit, Stuff of the Crown! Who tested the fucking game, brother? And then thought, oh, do you know what? We don't need a search function. Because, like, you want to search this. You want to search, like, I want to search my skill tree. I want to search my Paragon board. I want to search my bank tab. Bro, you want to search every... Bro, why can we not search?
For my sorceress, right? And then I made the druid, and I was also pulling up more aspects from there for the build that I needed. And when I put that all in the same stash, they all just mixed together. And I was like, you can figure it out, right? You can manually sort it, you know, put like the sorcerer on top and the druid on the bottom. But even still, if I have like 10 different offensive aspects, every time, like if I need a new one because I get a new piece of gear, because we're constantly getting a new piece of gear, and we need these aspects for builds to make the synergies work and everything. So every time, you know, I got a new piece of gear, I need this particular offensive aspect for it. Which one of the 10 to 20 offensive aspects in my stash was that one? I don't remember, and I can't at a glance figure it out. So, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Like, that's what you have to do it every time. At a glance, there should be some better way of finding this. Or another option, and this would solve a lot of other problems, is if they gave us some sort of search functionality, some keyword search, instead of mousing over every single aspect.
No fucking way, dude. You think they should have given us a search in an ARPG, bro, which is like fucking got giga inventory management and item management? No fucking way, bro. Do you think they should have given us a search? Bro, like I would have been like pissed off if they just gave us a search, and then they didn't give us like the ability to search like tags, right? You know, to put like, you know, tags in like tier 16 or fucking like body type or whatever. You get what I'm saying, right? Different rarity types. I would have been pissed off if there wasn't tags, let alone the fact that they didn't have a fucking search function. Like, holy shit, you know. I'm not hate-watching. I'm saying it's ridiculous, right? The fact that there's no search function. It is ridiculous. It's obscene. Fucking obscene. Actually out of control. Like, batshit crazy from Blizzard. Like, how the fuck did that not make it into the cut? I mean, they didn't make... I mean, to be honest, the game released without fucking leaderboards. Fucking ARPG with no leaderboards. So, I mean, what am I saying? Of course it could release with no search function. You know? For
every single piece of gear when you're looking for something, let us type in keywords that can filter things out. If we're looking for a specific stat or a specific word that we know is on the aspect, we could find it easily if we had a search function there. And then also, I think just some better sorting options, because right now there's only one type of sort, so they should give us the option to sort by rarity or armor type, or sort by class or power level, or sort so that all of the aspects are put next to each
You need to calm down. If we get a search function, you better count yourself lucky, bro.
other by their particular name. There's a lot more quality of life and user experience improvements that I feel like they can make, and these would definitely be some of them. And then finally, after playing so much, I realized we could definitely use a loot filter, and I hope that is something that they consider as well. Whew, okay, so that I know was a long list of what sound like grievances, but really these are just things that I would love to see brought to the game, addressed with the game to make it better. A game that I already think is great. A game that I plan to play for the next several weeks up until the first season and into the first season. And if some of these things are addressed, maybe something that I continuously play for far longer. I think they've got a really great base here, but I do think there's a lot of things they could do to improve the game, and many more beyond the things that I touched on and addressed here. And maybe that's something, other issues that we cover in future videos. But that's pretty much going to do it for today's. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about any of these critiques. You know, I'm not a game developer.
Yeah, let me link his video in chat, guys.
Because he is God Game.